So where's David this week? David's at the beach. He said he won't be gone for years. He never does. He's the guy that's Harold. Look at this partner. Topic or Jack. I've been running out on the looking to see if that tree they clean his neighbor. They had a tree that clean their outfit in the library and they keep watching. I see also it is. We've had horrible. Hey, excuse me. Would you engage a young man across the church? Yeah, that's one of the last ones. But I mean, there's been somewhere north for 2 weeks. Over like 10 of them. Different. Just within your like that. So like when you see. I think I've only been 5th right out of the church.
Which means he's enlisted in the military. That's what that means. Basic training is usually 6 weeks. You got up until 36. How old is he? If he's younger than 36, he can join. You have until 36 to join the military.
There's been a lot of that last one that came through is
people are just very quiet. I don't say much.
And so that's what really got most of them. They had,
oh, I thought it was the ones that have diarrhea of the mouth. The ones that say a lot but say very little. I thought those were the most dangerous ones. I'll keep that in mind. So what would you like to know? Very well then. You? That's not what I heard. Good response. You've been trained. Good job.
There are certain people that he calls who will stay on the good side.
I was on Facebook of the ship coming into Fire Island. Big old yellow here, heart-shaped glass. My little one believes.
That's not bad at all. No, I mean the fact you didn't have to get a permit. Some places they can get a permit even for any type of modified change. Either that or she's just going to tell you I submitted. Yeah, something like that. But I think it also
there's the other one with the
that's beautiful.
body sprays and
Is that that's not a tile, that's not
all tile, everything,
It's all tile?
every wall,
what is it, chatty or marble?
The big 2x4s are Italian, the other ones. I think where they got most of it. This is that was Vanity was hire somebody to to cut the vanity because they bought a piece of furniture, cut the vanity and reset the sink.
Big ass mirror.
So you can't listen
And
to
then you can
that.
change the colors on it. That thing is 72 inches, but I had to build those walls and tie all that and put the vanity in before I could start in the shower because of the current going into the shower. It's a big thing.
Which means you also have to change the level. You're doing a term. Was it higher or lower?
Well, just coming in from the bathroom to get through the walls to where the shower was at. It was crazy. They just drew it out. So this is what I want. I'm like, okay, here we go.
When we redid in the last house that we owned, we put a huge walk-in shower in it, and there was no door that closed the shower. It was just a walkway to get through.
Yeah.
But the shower was 8 feet long. We left a 3-foot opening. The rest of it was a 5-foot by 7-foot tall piece of glass. When the guys came in and started trying to get that glass angled through and installed in the right place. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah. Well, shower door guys will be fine. They can get in because that's a straight shot. But like that was an old 1950s bathroom that was no bigger than 2 of these tables.
Yeah.
I mean, and so we took out 2 closets and the pocket door and then moved 4 walls to change the space. And so we actually have like walk in the master now, the bedroom parts to the left, and then to the right is like the dressing area, and then you go into that bathroom. They were going to hang up this lion like on the back wall of the shower with the ring and stuff. And I'm like, no, that would have been something you needed to let me know before we framed it up, but they didn't. I'm not drilling for that tile down just to shoot off and then 10-pound not
Every now and then when I've been looking up
but they're still fighting. They've been seeing my text. I'm like, I know. They've been seeing my text. I finished
depends on the requirements. It could be out of state of, but lately it's been out of country use or events.
project managers or
To
whatever.
say that having multiple
We have
districts
to visit and call. I hold that line for another $8 grand or whatever. I ain't doing it. Doing somebody else do, but that's something you could have told me before. Because if not, cut through the sheet rock in the hallway and put some framing in there to hold it. I said, what do you want your bed? I only was thinking we can crop and some chains if you want it, like some leather straps. I said, I think I'll get leather to do it.
I speak and write fluently in 7, and then an additional 5 in my head. I don't write 5, but I speak 5 minutes. I live in those countries. I speak German, French. Growing up, I lived everywhere. Germany, France, Russia, Italy, Spain. No, my father was a bastard who didn't want to learn how to speak. He sent me other places. He was very wealthy, but I didn't see any of that. So I've worked since I was, everything I have I've learned my own since I was 6 years old. So I've had to work everything from a circus hand to a German steel plant to airport. Whatever it needed to be done to make money. I'll tell you, when you're thrown into a country where they don't want to speak English, trust me, you pick up on it. It's not that difficult. I tell people to seek to learn languages. It's not like learning history or science. Language is a matter of thought, not a matter of head. You weren't taught English. You were just taught to pronounce and spell. That's all you were ever taught. Think about it. When you were growing up, that's all you were taught. How to pronounce and spell. That's it. So I speak German, French, Spanish, Italian, Russian, Serbian, Latin fluently. I write them fluently. And then I speak Greek, Pashto, Arabic, Farsi, and a little bit of French. I've actually worked with one. I'll tell you something. It's realistic. It's one of the most leading tools in everything. Most diplomats covert officers, they speak multiple languages. So oftentimes when you're introducing somebody to somebody else, they already know what you're saying. And they'll know what that person's saying. You know how hard it is to tell somebody that they didn't call the other person a cow, cow? Yeah. Oh, I forgot that. It's like, no. He just mistranslated. He just said, he's just as new as and you know he wouldn't say it. And you got to convince the other guy, no, he did not call you a cow. Because they'll pretend they don't understand it. But they understand it completely. It is hard to do that with a straight face. Particularly if the person doesn't look like a cow, you know. It's even hard, But yeah, it's the most interesting. And then you have to I rarely spoke English when I was there, rarely. It was always one last other. But I always thought it was funny when people were pissed off and they'd insult each other. It was your job, and that's really what your job was. You would calm them down and say they were mistaken, or they had this once last time, and they were celebrating. If you have to forgive them, and they look at you like, you do know I know what you're saying. I'm like, I get it, but this is my job, so don't be Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's funny. I'll tell you a secret. There's what they call formal language and conversation with pride. I'm sure everybody here has their favorite movie or favorite episode or some type of sitcom like put it in a different language, where you can see what the language is. And while you hear the English, it'll be very interesting because that's really conversation here. The irony is it's never exactly right. It's like in Spanish. Here in the United States you have a concept of bling. That guy got a lot of bling. There is no Spanish word for bling at all. There's no German word for bling. That's an American thing. And so you have to go through a whole sentence to just try to explain what that is if I was to translate it to somebody else. So that's why I always sometimes look at them, particularly American shows where they have a lot of lingo. It's a lot of that's not how you say that. That's not. I was like, that's an interesting interpreting that. In some cases say that's a cheesy, that's a cheesy slut. Well, no, that's not exactly how I say that.
Yeah, I don't want to do another.
There's no English for that either. No, there isn't. Or
my house is down in a hill, down in a valley. On a hill, but it's down in a valley. And my house you do a roll down and everything will go to the middle. Everything goes to the middle of the house. I'm sure it's a combination of in the valley and a combination of that fire with all the artists. I want to give him an opportunity. Because he wanted a call-in shower with the house that's in it. He wanted to pull the floor, which is fun. He wanted it, he's got a basement down below, so when you do then you have to do a step down underneath. And I'm like, it's different if you have a crawl space, it's like, anybody there, but I had to move
Well, you know, you did a good job. Excellent acting. You get a Tony for that. Where's the Tony music background? Danny, somebody named Danny, they apologize. Lady, someone that family may have passed away or something. Well, apparently you made an impression.
You are about 1,000.
Now you can stay over
Everybody
this matter.
knows. My friend Larry comes out there, like, they start naming, like, "Can the Contract brothers?" And I'm like, "Yeah, and his parents at the grocery store."
I think this is the Charlotte ball.
Yeah. Where are you? That wasn't bad at all.
It's less than I remember it being.
Yeah, that's-
I was thinking it was closer to.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking that night. Yeah, well, there's the longer one, so it depends on the size. It's 47. So I guess it depends, like, Robert's or the size. Those are nice.
In the shower, how convenient.
Well, you can read ball. You feel while bathing at the same time. Who knew?
Why not?
A little more reassuring.
You know, if only to have a place to put wet washcloths.
But to step into that, like, I mean, it is, yeah. Should I add the electricity? I had to do a heated floor, and we don't even know if this heated floor. But those, yeah, for both bathrooms, that's the only thing I do got left in there is one outlet window. Yes, bathroom, but I wanted it to be in the bathroom.
I don't have that like
Before I cut the tile in there, because they took all the rooms out. Yeah, they took all the, it's got a bunch of
Please come over and bring the dog in. My daughter is going
there are a lot of women that like days. I don't know why.
Well, I did see that too.
So you don't have to have, well, you don't have to have a hot plug and a cold plug, and it's not just cold, so the seat actually, so everything's up to right.
Several weeks.
quote to the
Yeah.
yeah, because they're running the hot and cold water for the cold stuff.
I bet.
To taste, yeah. Everybody has.
That's what I got last year. Y'all saw
I'll send you.
Catch up soon.
Thank you.
Markham last week, and saw 8 months later when I met them. Thank you.
Yeah, we can change on this.
Ann Scoggins and her cousins, they're all cousins. They're all got pictures. Nancy, seeing on this side, her and Ann and Gwen are all cousins. And have spent time in that church growing up. Her husband moved back here from North Carolina to Ann passed to be close to her mother who was in Lonnie, and that's how I became friends with them. But her and Gwen and Ann all they're all cousins. And when they moved here, within about 2 years, her husband had been diagnosed with MS, Parkinson's. And that was fine. That was managed for whatever, and then it all been over. And now all that was just a pocket. So they sold their house in Homewood, which tons of less than that, and it went out to Brookfield by the river. And now she's starting to look at condos. That's why I said to her name and number and her your number, because I'm like, Larry knows everything about that building and some of the other buildings around the area. And if she was to call and ask you, like, is this what's the pros and cons of this place?
I never heard of it.
Well, she probably still will. I'm sure she has her hands full still dealing with what's going on with her husband Eric, which is awful right now.
Henry, did you want Margaret to know?
To go from
Yeah.
I did.
very active, pretty quick. And it's personal.
I didn't do it. One didn't do it. You didn't want Margaret to know.
Anybody else, because you can't disassociate. That's always like, once he doesn't know who I am, then I'm getting a call about it, and I'll go whatever. That's okay.
She wrote it on here, read it like a
That's what happens when you have too many.
the book.
You lose track.
We need to have some picture head out on your head. What's your name? Michael was doing the last weekend, the weekend before. Michael said, I hung out with Greg most of the time. Everybody else was so crazy. They did it at our farm, and of course the shows are like, I said, shows for 11. And they still had a show.
So unlike most others.
Almost like.
Shane from Chick-fil-A.
No. I know there's really hot new prices in there.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, they both still work there.
We have.
Yeah, there used to be one. There used to be one on the other side of the track, off Denver Walkway. But it got robbed too many times, so they closed it.
So they wonder like, where do we need to step up the turns?
There's certain places BPD will not be going around here at certain times of the day. That's one of those places at certain times. And the irony is the gang that got upset because it closed. They were the ones that closed because it kept robbing it. So it's like, look in the mirror.
Yeah, don't,
And they still do drag racing out there too.
I'm on the other side, right up from the church, I'm on the other side, and you can hear them, and you can hear the difference between, like, fireworks and those sides. Oh, that would be this
I wasn't making a big mess of
And now we're close to the same reason. That was the one. That's one reason why I have one of the best rent deals. We kicked everybody that was drug deal out of our building. Since I made a deal with the apartment complex company, and I said, if I ever get rid of all drug dealers, you'll bring me down to this. I said, sure. It's not a big deal. Something that I can't go into.
But I was
Look, they're working hard to revitalize it. You know, it's all about mindset. Unfortunately, you have people who just have a horrible mindset. They're growing up in an environment where it's okay to have one. In Atlanta, you have Red Dog. They're the counter-drug intelligence for the Atlanta Police Department called Red Dog. All they do is go after drug dealers. So forth.
We worked so hard to get things realized, and then kind of like get one job and not
I think Alabama is an oxymoronic state.
yeah. I'm with you on that.
It's the most twisted, faith-based, legalist, agnostic concept I've ever seen in my life. At one point they say we're forgiving other people, but only if we can make you homeless and separate you by your race. Oh, and by the way, if you don't like it, we can devise other ways where you can't live here. Or if you do, you have to pay them up or amount to do so. Don't worry. We're loving people. Roll Tide. Right across from there. Yeah, right across from the actual base. Okay.
Wow.
That's been a time working here. But hey, I had the best. We had the best time ever. We made it a sanctuary, so that there'd be no guns, no drugs, even the gangs abided by the rules. Because what we do is we throw them in deep. But I'll never forget it because it's the only place where you learn to train. How to jump off a lifeguard stand. So who do you think is I really don't see anybody make any difference running around.
But you hear what Maddox said in Tuscaloosa? He didn't look at
That was it Maddox or was it the mayor? Is it Maddox?
There's the mayor.
Okay. I'm new here, so I'm still learning. I already know my one rule. Somebody's probably related to somebody who's related to somebody by DNA somewhere. Somebody's cousin. I think that's what everybody puts on the tombstone when they die. I was somebody's cousin. They're that way. That's what became of the Birmingham Waterworks. You know what they say about the Birmingham Waterworks? Fell in the county. That's what they call the Birmingham Waterworks. Fell in the county. That's where you learn how to propagate fell in there. I mean, that's messed up. Something so bad, they call it that. Sooner or later they're gonna have to. The smart, the one thing that I'm doing, it was a long time. I'm like, dude, that guy should be thought decades ago. I mean, decades ago. He's lucky he's not in prison. That's the one thing I don't like about what I do is I can't get involved. I mean, I know we have half the crap that we know is it's not our territory. Man, it's like
That means my ride home in Texas will be a lot easier.
for holiday. It'll be back.
They were crazy yesterday.
Alabaster here is always getting up. Like there's like a major accident. There's no major accident. What the hell? Is it because it goes from a 4-lane to a 2-lane?
So you get that. And one 480 to one other one went over to 85. And I'm like, you know that spot right there. It's been a decade or more since it's been that way. So,
I always wondered why the
nothing goes from a 4 to a 2. And
why did this one how can I say it's really marvelous that? That's the really marvelous because it's like it's the only it clears up before you get to a corral. They're cold. I mean, they have a diet, it narrows the I do feel like part of it is a shame. It's like
I don't know, but it's been that way for a decade. When you get there, it's just like, yeah.
it's like literally up the
Radio,
she's right. I mean, you're literally
going
going 4 to 5 miles per hour if you're
instead of doing the speed up, front over, speed up, front over, speed up, front over.
I'm giving the what's your version for
I had to learn to go 280, go 280. My company that way, because I just can't do 65 almost. So I'll take 280 all the way over to come up with a cup.
I'll tell you a story. I don't remember exactly who's the text it was. It was fairly south of Montgomery. Veer off and go to Dexter. And the country roads back through there, the country highways are 2 lanes, one going, one coming. And I was back in the traffic there. We were cruising along, probably 55, 60 miles an hour. But there was a lot of traffic, and somebody behind me was anxious to get past all of this. And so he decides he's going to pass on the left. And just as he decides to pass on the left, there's a car coming right at him. And the only thing he could do is he couldn't get out of that was ridiculous. But it was a scene straight from the Dukes of Hazzard, because he went, the road was curving, and he went straight off. And it banked up a little bit, so he was airborne. That's all what was happening. That was just like, what? And so he was airborne, and when he got airborne, he crossed over a cattle fence into a pasture, and into the middle of a pond in the pasture, and he just splashed. It was terrible to watch. It was amazing good fishing, and I was just sure for his world.
Just how compassionate he really is there.
But if you're going to with anything like
Passionate
that,
or confident, I can't tell you that. Wow.
You'll never know. Hey, what's the story? I don't know where he heard it. But what's the story about you in the shower and the woman?
Oh, that was at Linwood. That was.
Oh, wasn't it? Oh, that's right. It was the one that.
This was early in our relationship.
You and the doctor.
Yeah. And we were going to the beach one weekend. I had to work till 4 o'clock, so he was going to go early with Larry. And I started thinking that morning, Friday morning, this guy should take a good stage. I'm going to be going later by myself.
Wow.
I've always been scared to death of the So I knew this was 21. And this was back there in the closet.
21's about
I'm sorry.
It was one short of a full gun.
I knew it wasn't as strong as at 38. I was trying to determine if there was any bullets in it, looking how straight at me there. He said, where did you shoot it? I was running to the area of the house. We were in there and made a doily out of the shower curtain. And there was a hole, of course. So what he forgot to tell me is that he got scared the week before that happened and loaded the gun. It's never been loaded. And didn't unload it while I was there. So I made him get rid of it. So that's the story.
Are you related to Bonnie Fire?
He just wasted that one bullet.
Did you have to get the shower curtain or carpet cleaned up?
Yeah. After their dad died, I was ready to do all their things up there. And he came over with a rifle and a 38 pistol. And I said, what the hell am I doing? I'm having a gun in this house. He said, no, Donna didn't want them, and I didn't want to give them away from her. And brother off the rifle, and Jay Lowry ended up with 38. Yeah. So I got the 22. You got another one. You must have the 22.
You said, here, keep this from me. I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's in the garage somewhere.
I bet that 21 is a
I'm telling you. I mean, there's an actual 21 sidearm.
you could sell that on eBay.
Billions of dollars for that.
Well, the best part of it, so one year he as a gag gift, no pun intended, he gave me a John Holmes dildo as a present, as a present. And so Jay and Lisa, that's a really close friend, left our house one night with that dildo. And later on, after I gave him the gun ready, he used to tell everybody he lost his dildo and his pistol in the divorce.
I almost want to say something, but I'm not going to. Now, there's so many ways that could, like shooting with legs, But leave that. Wow. It's okay.
I saw you laugh. Somebody else said I've got to have mine recovered. Beginning to fade. I beg your pardon, I'm not 85. Got me and you mixed up.
So somewhere between Caesar and Columbus.
But he trudges on.
Rain's gonna be 65. Yeah.
He's saying, oh, part of it. I tell you what.
He's gonna be 77. Y'all ready?
We going, are we going to market? I'm going home and working in the grocery store. Well, I did, but I got everything. You out. Well, you got to go like this, because I know these two hogs are eating out of house. Y'all put it down to the store.
That's the market.
Tejas. Don't go to the water.
We never traveled without accident. We never know that the food is going to be available.
What is it?
There's Bobby.
That's in the
Yeah, that's the guy that older guy that's coming. The third just comes out, slowing down, started grabbing, and we're going to get run because of the wall.
They just gonna let him go. Go!
But the Hamo kept going. Okay.
They was just like,
I didn't want to like stop in the name of the Lord.
man.
You know, he was against some new ways to live.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling.